Is it recording? Okay, it's recording. Hi guys, it's Anembi. You know me from making games, but today I'm here to talk about making money. Mostly not from games, and my experiences using a variety of services and platforms and real world methods to make a little scratch on the side. Interested? Let's talk about it. First one to talk about is Mechanical Turk from Amazon. It's the mostly survey site. You log in and take surveys, sometimes help with small human based tasks. It's very inconsistent, very time consuming, but you can make pretty reliably 5 to 20 bucks like every week or 2 weeks. You will make more with the amount of time that you put in it, but there is the diminishing returns. So after I'd say about 4 or 5 hours of turking a week, you're down to the penny hits, which are worth from 4 cents to 20 cents, and you can do them over and over for the most part as much as you want. So you can do hundreds or thousands of these 20-cent hits. But typically they take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes, and at that point you're valuing your hour at about $1 an hour, and I just don't find it worth it. And most of them are broken or they don't pay, mostly James Billings. Around 6 a.m., high paying hits tend to come out, 6 to 9 actually, typically. Um, it might be worth it to stay up for these. I never do, and I never really see them. I tried a bunch of extensions, Turk Review, mturk Squeet, user scripts with Tamper Monkey. All of them didn't really help much and were very inconsistent. Tamper Monkey with Turk Review, especially, very inconsistent. About half the time I go to Turk, I have to disable and re-enable Tamper Monkey and Turk Review just so that they work. And that's not worth it for something that mostly just gives me stats on the side and doesn't change what I do day to day turking. Always fill out the surveys after a Turk. They are demographic data and will give you invites to higher paying jobs. Sometimes these jobs and these hits are not available unless you do the survey. So do the survey and you'll make more money. There's a competitor to Turk. It's called Connect by Cloud Research. I found it very inconsistent, but it's a much, much, much better platform than Turk. There's quicker payouts. The trade-off is there's significantly less jobs to do. Another thing worth mentioning is that it's demographic based, so you have to fill out a bunch of information about who you are, and you have to be consistent about your demographic data. And if you're not in a good demographic that people wants to survey and hear from, you're just not going to make much money. And my girlfriend, who is a woman but is otherwise pretty much identical to me in terms of demographic data, gets maybe one survey for every 20 that I get. So it's a big difference. One thing is it's always about minimum wage for every job. You get time estimates on every job, which is really nice. You don't get that on Turk. There's an hourly rate indicator in all surveys, so you know roughly what you're getting paid. The amount of surveys is very low. You don't know when they're coming. Survey approval can take 14 days, and you can only withdraw via a PayPal or Amazon gift card. In the right season, there's a lot of really good high-paying jobs. I've made 50 bucks inside of, I don't know, a week and a half on Connect by Cloud Research, and that was amazing, but I haven't seen those jobs again. I don't know if they're ever coming back. It's relatively new though, and there's a lot of changes and a lot of weirdness constantly. Just Play. You guys know the app. You've probably seen a billion ads for it by now. It's the app where you play games to make money. What that actually means is you watch ads in games which makes them money and they give you a cut. That's what it really is. Just Play, you download a few games and they reward you with points whenever you progress in the game, like you beat a level, you get points which are eventually redeemed every 3 hours into real cash. And the amount you get is not consistent, and the amount that you get per time invested is very poor. The hourly rate is about 50 cents an hour, I'd say. But sometimes I think it's worth it because there are games where you can just sit there and hit the add button again and again and again and progress, which means you can be playing a game in the loading screen and hit the add button and make progress. So effectively, it doesn't cost you anything sometimes, but it's not the best option here. Far from it. So just play takeaways. Find a game that doesn't require any interactions. You can do it along other things. I like Word Seeker. Don't ever watch ads in the Just Play app. I've found that watching ads in the Just Play app, the same amount of points that I'm getting not watching ads. If I do it just watching ads, I will get 3 cents. If I do it playing a game and watching game ads, that can be like 30 cents. So it's like almost 1% of the amount that you get for watching ads in the Just Play app. So Unity mobile ads on these games, pretty inconsistent. It crashes all the time. What you do is you select the app, you close it, and you open it back up, and then the ads work again. And this works on pretty much every game with ads. It's only really realistic to use Just Play on one phone since you can't really automate it, and you have to get up to $2 for PayPal withdrawals. Coin app. Coin's an interesting app. It's one of the few apps I've seen out in the wild where you can make money and you don't actually have to interact with it. You can hit a button and just leave it for days, and for the most part, it'll be totally fine with that. I found that typically you'd get about a little bit less than $5 a month, but the withdrawal rate is very high, so you have to get to 10,000 points. You average making 200, 300 points a day. So typically speaking, you would only withdraw every 3 months and you'd only get $5 to $10 out of that. And that, not sure if it's worth it, but just leaving a phone on with the app open doesn't cost me anything. So I would suggest having a main phone and several other phones. These other phones could have the Coin app on all the time. And then you just transfer the points over to your main phone and withdraw from there. If you live in a city, you can get a lot more coin a lot faster, especially if you use geoclaims. Geoclaims are where you get a percentage of all of the money made in your region. So cities always have more money being made, so when you do a big geoclaim, you get a lot more from it. So it makes way more sense to geoclaim in a city versus a rural area. Geoclaims, pretty interesting. I would suggest spending 5 coin on geoclaims every week. Usually you get that money back, especially if you do it on Sunday. If it's late in the week, you don't want to geoclaim because you won't make your money back and you're just throwing your money away. Daily drops give you 700 coin a week, so that's worthwhile. That makes it, close to four coins a month, assuming you do nothing else. Fetch. Fetch is a really interesting affiliate marketing app. So you scan receipts and it gives you points which you can use to redeem rewards. I only get the Visa gift card because I want to be as close to real money as possible. It's pretty exploitable. Any receipt is valid as long as it's a recent receipt. So if you have a job like a cashier or are willing to dumpster dive for receipts, you can get a lot of points. It also has email integration, so you can buy things on like Steam or Amazon or Walmart, and these will get scanned together and you'll get points for all of them, although for whatever reason it only lets you scan 25 of them at a time. So I'm not sure why that is. You can anytime you have a physical receipt, even if it's for the same transaction, that tends to work and it tends to give you points. Hideout.co. You guys have probably heard of this one before. It's hideout.tv. Well, it's Hideout TV. The web address is hideout.co. And it's basically YouTube, but all you do is you leave videos open. If you finish a video, it moves you to a next one, and every once in a while there's an ad and a "Are you still watching?" thing. So all you do is you open it, and every like half an hour you click that you're still watching. You can make about $5 in a couple days, and that's all right. I always withdraw as an Amazon gift card. I can buy food with that, and the fees are lower if you get an Amazon gift card. Steam trading, Humble Bundle. So, when I was young and kind of a little bit lately, I would Steam trade because I couldn't afford games. I'd get $5 for games a year, so I had to get really creative with those as a kid. And that opened me up to the world of Steam trading. So I have a very basic strategy for you here as a way to reliably make money Steam trading without having any real reputation or skill for trading. And that's, you go to humblebundle.com, you buy a key bundle or you buy Humble Choice, you find someone on steamtrades.com and you sell them those keys, which they will pay for in PayPal money. And you might wonder why they would do that. It's because Humble Bundle restricts the amount of purchases you can have on a single account. So they want to stock up these keys and sell them over time. And so what they do there is... Hi, baby. So what they do there is they stock up the keys that they're buying at a slight markup from you. They mark it up even further and they sell it later. So there's also the Facebook buyer strategy. That's where you join a Facebook product review group. You pick a company and they send you a product review. They send you an e-commerce link like Walmart or AliExpress or something. You buy it with your own money. Once you receive it, you review it, and they refund you the amount you paid on the product, and they usually attach a small commission, anywhere from 40 cents to $2. There's also freelancing. If you have any typical skills, here's a strategy where you can start out freelancing. Join a community. Let them know what you're good at. Give some examples. Make friends, network, and post that you're looking for jobs. And then... Bye-bye. Sorry. Anyway, so... And then you can make a post offering your services. When you have connections in the community, that's going to be way more successful. If you don't know anybody, no one's going to click on your link, no one's going to get to know you, and no one's going to hire you. Know people in the community. Make connections and become like popular in that community, and you'll have a lot better time. Then you want to deal with them in email. You want to have a freelancing contract prepared, an hourly wage expectation. Here's some more advice as to that. I don't like taking jobs that would give me less than $100. That's because there's a lot of overhead, and if I'm not making at least $100, then all of that overhead costs too much. So I'd research the going rates for your skills, like if you're an artist or a programmer or a writer. Find these going rates and base your wage around that. Find a way that you can make X amount of work for this amount of pay. It doesn't matter if it's lower quality at that rate, not that much. At least initially, you're going to compete on price until you've built a client base and you can just start getting jobs without having to really work for it through referrals and word of mouth. My very simple formula for deciding your wage. If you don't have enough clients, lower your wage. If you have too many clients, raise the wage until you have just enough work to do. One other way that's easy to make money if you have things of value or the skills to make things of value, go to a pawn shop. Pawn shops are horrible, really just uncomfortable, financially strenuous businesses. They'll offer you about 30% of an object's value if you go to a pawn shop. The only reason you go to a pawn shop is if you can't sell a product any other way, or if you need that money soon. If you can't afford to wait, you should do eBay instead. Do a 7-day auction and a buy it now listing. eBay doesn't cost you anything up front. If someone buys your product, they're going to cover the shipping costs. They're going to cover the price, or take the fees out of that purchase. You don't have to pay anything up front to use eBay. You just have to be able to package the item and drop it off at a local shipping place. If you have only electric or mechanical skills, you can go to pawn shops, yard sales, or thrift stores, find broken items, fix them up, sell them at a pawn shop. Pawn shops, when they're looking at anything technical or mechanical, it's very rare for you to be talking to someone that knows what the heck they're looking at. That's not me saying that you should scam a pawn shop. That's me saying that things that don't have value in your educated community might still have value at a pawn shop where the average person might be interested. Other platforms I've used... Oh, there's a small typo though there. Whoops. So, things I don't recommend. Entropia, Universe, Upland, Earth 2, Atlas Earth. Earth 2 I have lots of thoughts on, but we're just going to skip past it. These are all games that are meant to draw you in and make you spend a lot of money. If you have trouble with hyper-casual games like Candy Crush or anything like that, don't get into these games. They will ruin you. Don't touch them. And honestly, even if you don't get drawn in by those games, probably don't touch them anyway. It takes way too long to make any money, and the withdrawal process is not easy for most of these. Atlas Earth is okay, but it'll take months to years for you to get to a point where you can withdraw anything. Fiverr, a great platform, I think. There's a lot of suspicious behavior on it as a buyer, but as a seller, you can pretty reliably get clients, I believe. You need seed money, though. You need to be able to make advertisements. You need to be able to have some clients up front when you get on the platform. If you don't have any clients, you're going to sit there with an open gig and no one ordering for months to years. So you want to have someone ordering right away, and you want to have advertising. Otherwise, you're not going to get any jobs. Swagbucks, I thought it was awful. It's Turk, but worse. The surveys are worse, the pay is worse, and the withdrawal periods are much more complicated. Twitch is actually in a really good place right now for people who don't have big followings. They recently lowered the withdrawal rates to $50. So if you make $50, you'll get a payout from Twitch. The big thing too is affiliates has really low requirements, about 50 followers. Almost anyone can get to 50 followers if they're driven enough. And most people, if they spent much time online, have any fan base, they start a Twitch and they have 50 followers within a month and they're an affiliate. If you're an affiliate, you can make 50 cents to $1 in ad revenue, even if you have no viewers per stream. So what you do is you stream as much as possible until that ad revenue starts picking up. You go to other platforms and you try and bring people to your stream to increase your ad revenue and eventually your subscriptions. That's the strategy. If you just stay on Twitch, you won't make any money. All you'll get is 50 cents of ad revenue for every 8 hours that you stream. It's not worth it if you don't go to other platforms and promote. Stream Elements, though, that's a kind of a spin-off of Twitch, separate company, but uses Twitch. Stream Elements offers a lot of interesting features, it has a tips page, but the big thing to talk about for Twitch and Twitch affiliates is sponsorships. Twitch has very high requirements for sponsorships, but you know it doesn't? Stream Elements. They have very small sponsorships that almost every streamer can get, and almost every streamer can make money doing. I would recommend that you have a group of 3 to 8 friends to support you on your Twitch stream. Get yourself a little cult. They don't have to be a literal cult, but get yourself a bunch of close friends who want to help and organize them. Create a, kind of power group to get stuff done, and you'll have no problem getting through these sponsorships. Let's see. I had more to say. If you don't do that, there will still be sponsorships that you can do completely alone, but they're rare and they don't pay that well. So get a group, work together, make a community. Medium.com, pretty unrealistic. I've written a few things for Medium.com. I think the requirements, not that unreasonable to get on Medium, but I don't know much people that are running around hoping to read things. And even if they are, the amount of payouts you're going to get from Medium versus a time investment of writing things for the site, it's not going to be worth it. I wouldn't bother. Amazon KDP, so Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, Kindle Vella, that's all KDP. I think organic sales, very low. You're not going to find many people just stumbling across your books or your projects and buying them. Doesn't really happen on Amazon, but it's a really good place to market games. I'm so used to talking about games. It's a really good place to market books and products and tabletop games because the marketing options are really good on Amazon. It's a great place to build fans to read your stuff. Just the trade-off is Amazon, if you use these marketing options, requires you to be exclusive to Amazon. You can't go wide and use a lot of platforms. You have to only use Amazon. TikTok, great opportunity to build fan base. Difficult to move your fans anywhere but TikTok. How it works is TikTok will let any video, if it's of decent quality, get about 1,000 views. More if you're willing to tag and build a fan base beyond that. But 1,000 views practically anyone on TikTok can get if they try. So what you would want to do ideally is, do a TikTok of mostly clips for your Twitch, right? You just take cuts from your Twitch, you put it on TikTok, you link that back to Twitch, you get more Twitch followers, you're a Twitch affiliate, you start making money. That's kind of the process. So that's my last slide, and that's all of the ways I've tried to make money. All of this information is pretty up to date. I've checked all of these things and they do work. You can make money on them. It's just with certain asterisks that I covered with this advice. If this was helpful to you, go to one thing I didn't cover, my Patreon, and subscribe. I do a lot of business talk on the Patreon. It helps support me making tutorials and informational videos just like this one you're watching now. So go to my Patreon and subscribe. It's cheap, you get a lot of resources, and it helps me make more content just like this. Thank you. Bye-bye.